Good day, the honorable judges. First of all, I would like to thank you for giving me and my group a chance to present our article. My name is Risanti Adiputri and I'm here as presenter number 78 and as a presenter of my group, and I'm here ready to deliver our topic, which is titled as the effects of Keris in Indonesian society. So about the method that we're using to write this article is by descriptive method. So basically descriptive method is based on data collection, which will then be used by the researchers to produce a description of the social phenomenon under study. So this method is very suitable for analyzing issues or topics that cannot be measured numerically. It is qualitative research based on questions what, where, when, who, why, and how. So the question what could be something like what is the topic, or what is the object that is discussed in the paper. So from the title that I've mentioned earlier, it is clear that the object is Keris. But what about it? Well, Keris is a traditional Indonesian weapon, which is also very well known by the community, especially in Java. The presence of Keris in Javanese culture is considered as an object that not only functioned as a weapon, but also functioned as a talisman, inheritance, clothing, even status symbol, authority giver, and as a means of carrying out traditional culture, traditional ceremonies. So, do you also know that Keris have these values, these symbols, which show a sense of power, a magical authority, which is closely related to the primitive and modern Javanese society in today's era. So there's only one of so many examples that we will discuss. But really, the concentration is still on the effect of Keris in society. So the what is actually the effect of Keris in society. So going next to the question where actually means where does the phenomenon take place, which I've mentioned just then. So the answer is Java, specifically speaking in East Java. Going next is when. So the when is asked for times. As in terms of times, we actually look back to what already happened in the past and the effect that we feel today in order to create ideas for the future. The who generally means Indonesian, or if you want to very specifically talking is Japanese people. Why? And why here is asked for the purpose of the article. So we choose this topic to actually learn the effects of Keris, which is a highly valued Indonesia's resource. So the effects on the people and whether or not these effects have something to do with their identity, or whether it's good or bad, and if it's good, then what can we maintain, or if it's bad, then what can we fix in the future, which can be answers to the question how. So going through all that questions, we can briefly discuss in the result of the analysis that Keris do have so many effects in the community. In terms of economy, let's see a case when there's a high demand of Keris from consumers, which then have an impact or for Keris producers in producing more products. This affects the reduction in the number of unemployed in Indonesia because the production process is done manually, so it requires a large number of craftsmen. The social aspect, Keris is not only a symbol to differentiate one's social status, but also to determine one's characteristic or identity, because each Keris is very personal. Usually not everyone can see an individual's Keris, and if and only if they are allowed to see someone else's Keris, that means that the person has been labeled or declared as a very close friend or relative. In terms of culture, Keris is often used in events in Indonesia. With the diversity that exists in Indonesia, Keris is still used to carry out traditional events, weddings, and others regardless of religion, race, or ethnicity. The spiritual aspect, Keris is an object that has spiritual value or sacredness. Every detail in the Keris has its own meaning according to the message the masters want to convey. In terms of clothing, Keris is a weapon that is known to be very powerful for those Japanese. Therefore, the traditional Japanese clothes are always pinned with the Keris, which is believed to be a symbol of men's masculinity, so that it shows that the groom has an invincible masculinity. And going next, in terms of existence, UNESCO views the Keris as having extraordinary value as a masterpiece of human creation. Apart from being rooted in the cultural traditions and history of Indonesian society, the Keris also still plays a role as national identity, a source of cultural inspiration, and still plays a social role in the society. With the added value of Keris, it can add to Indonesia's presence in the international world. So, going to the conclusion, the existence of a Keris from the past until now shows that it has a deeper meaning in people's lives, so that it can still be found and connected in social life. The impact and influence of the Keris will be analyzed, and whether the absence of the Keris will affect Indonesia's identity itself. Thank you for listening.